Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping right into a massive shift in tech today. Look, the fundamental way we find information on the internet is getting completely overhauled from the ground up. For decades, we've relied on the exact same concept of searching for keywords, but right now, a total revolution is happening. We're actively transitioning from traditional search engines to highly advanced AI answer engines. So we're going to break down exactly how this works under the hood, looking at things like RAG and multi-step agentic loops, and show you how you can use simple prompt tags to save literally hours of Googling every single day. Let's get into it. So, are you still searching the internet like it's 2010? Honestly, we've all felt the universal frustration of modern web searches lately, right? You type in a super simple question and suddenly you're wading through sponsored links, SEO spam, and endlessly scrolling through a blogger's life story just to find a simple cooking measurement. It is exhausting. But the good news is the tech has evolved and you really don't have to search the old way anymore.
The shift here is pretty clear. On the traditional search side, it's all about keyword indexing. Think of it like walking into a giant library, looking up a word in a card catalog, and the system just points you to a specific book and basically says, good luck, read it yourself. You get a ranked list of links, and yeah, they're often heavily influenced by ads. But AI answer engines, they use contextual reasoning. Instead of just pointing you to the book, this is like having a ridiculously fast research assistant who runs into that library, reads the 5 best books on your topic, synthesizes everything, and then just hands you a summarized, direct answer with exact citations. It is a completely different paradigm.
Here's our roadmap for this explainer. First, from search to answer engines. Second, looking under the hood. Third, multi-step AI reasoning. Fourth, the ultimate AI showdown. And finally, choosing the right tool.
Okay, part 1, from search to answer engines.
Welcome to the zero-click era. What does this actually mean for us? Well, according to marketing and tech analysts, we're entering a phase where you ask a question and boom, you get the answer instantly, right there on the page. 0 clicks required. No more bouncing between 5 different browser tabs trying to piece together the truth. These new AI tools are stepping in to compile the data directly for you. It's a massive time saver. But you're probably wondering, how does it actually know the answer without just making things up?
Which brings us to part 2, looking under the hood.
The absolute secret sauce here is RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation. You know how in the early days chatbots would just confidently hallucinate and make up fake facts because they were stuck using old frozen training data? Well, RAG fixes that. It's a 2-step dance. First is retrieval. The AI literally reaches out to the live internet to grab current factual data. Then, generation. It feeds those fresh facts right into the reasoning engine of a large language model to write a natural conversational answer for you. RAG is exactly why modern AI can give you real-time truths instead of outdated guesses. To ditch those old-school keywords, the backend now relies on semantic embeddings and vector databases. Basically, think of it as a 3D map of concepts rather than a simple flat dictionary. The AI isn't just hunting for the exact text string you typed, it's organizing information by meaning. If you search for fastest car, it knows you might also be looking for top-speed vehicles, even if the words don't match perfectly. It also leverages entity-based SEO. The AI views the world as unique entities, people, places, brands, and understands how they relate to each other. By mapping out that context, the AI actually gets your true intent, just like a human would.
Moving on to part 3, multi-step AI reasoning.
Let's break down how these multi-step agentic loops actually work. We'll use Perplexity's deep research feature as a prime example of this autonomous AI. When you throw a really complex problem at it, it doesn't just do one quick search. Step 1, the query analyzer deconstructs your big question into smaller, independent research tasks. Step 2, the source evaluator goes out and fetches hundreds of sources, and it actually scores them for credibility. It gives more weight to things like peer-reviewed journals or government data, and it's transparent about flagging conflicting info. Step 3, the report generator structures all those findings into a comprehensive report with inline citations. It's literally acting autonomously, doing the heavy lifting of a human researcher in minutes.
And get this, the results of this multi-step reasoning are wild, 93.9%. Based on data from Q3 Technologies, that is the massive factuality benchmark Perplexity's deep research is hitting right now. Because it runs that multi-step evaluation and credibility scoring, trust and accuracy skyrocket compared to your standard chatbot. For professionals who need absolute precision, that's a total game changer.
Plus, it's not just about text anymore. TechRadar noted that advanced tools are now embedding external engines under the hood, like Wolfram Alpha.
This means the AI can suddenly solve incredibly complex mathematical, scientific, and programming computations. It's essentially acting as a specialized data analyst, crunching the numbers for you right inside the search window.
All right, part 4, the ultimate AI showdown.
Let's look at this cheat sheet derived from Q3 Technologies data. It really highlights the structural strengths and weaknesses of the big 3 platforms. For real-time web data, Perplexity does this natively for every single query. ChatGPT requires plugins or specific modes, and Gemini relies on the Google index. Check out source citations. Perplexity gives them to you on every response. ChatGPT and Gemini, not natively. And for knowledge cutoff risk, basically the risk of the AI being clueless about recent events, Perplexity's risk is minimal, but ChatGPT's is actually quite high if you aren't actively using a web plugin.
Let's break them down individually, starting with Gemini. Gemini's superpower is absolutely the Google ecosystem. It operates seamlessly across YouTube, Google Search, and your workspace stuff like Docs and Gmail. For general-purpose tasks right inside the tools you already use, it's fantastic. But analysts at ZDNet have pointed out a few hiccups. While it's great at synthesizing information, it usually lacks those transparent source citations. It loves giving very brief bullet points, and when you really push it on complex research, it can be prone to subtle inaccuracies compared to tools built specifically for deep dives.
Next up is ChatGPT. This is undeniably the conversational standard. The conversational depth and creativity are exceptional, and it boasts a massive plugin ecosystem with deep API access for enterprise workflows. Need to brainstorm ideas or draft an email? It is incredible for that. Architecturally, though, it operates primarily from a fixed training dataset. That means if you aren't turning on its active web search features, there's a huge risk of knowledge cutoff errors. It might hand you a beautifully written answer that is entirely based on out-of-date information.
And finally, Perplexity AI. Analysts are praising this one as the ultimate research engine. It's fetching live data continuously for every single query. But the real kicker is the inline citations that expose the chain of evidence. You can literally click the little numbers and see the exact website it pulled a fact from. It also has this great Ask Follow-up feature that remembers the context of your whole conversation, making deep problem solving so much easier. And since it's subscription-based, you get a totally ad-free experience. No sponsored junk, just the answers you need.
Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, Choosing the Right Tool.
I really love this insight from Q3 Technologies. They wrote, "The central question is not which AI is the best. It is which AI is best for what. You shouldn't be hunting for one universal winner to rule them all. Instead, figure out the right tool for your specific task and learn a few simple prompt hacks to guide them. Using these engines for what they're actually built for is the ultimate way to save yourself hours of time."
So let's lock in your workflow right now. Doing academic or legal research where facts are absolutely critical? Go with Perplexity and try a prompt hack like act as an expert researcher and cite all sources. Brainstorming a project or trying to draft some creative copy, ChatGPT is your go-to. Use a prompt hack like brainstorm 10 creative angles for this topic. And if you're managing marketing campaigns or living inside Google Docs all day, Gemini is your best friend. Seriously, aligning your tasks to the optimal tool and telling it exactly how to behave will completely transform your productivity.
So let's wrap this up. The tech has leveled up. We've got RAG serving up factual answers, multi-step agentic loops acting as our own personal researchers, and specialized tools ready to do the heavy lifting for us. The era of endlessly scrolling through ad-filled pages is officially dead. My final question for you is, how will you adapt your workflow for the zero-click era? Are you ready to stop searching like it's 2010 and start leveraging answer engines to reclaim your time? Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you in the next one.